going on, man?
Much better, much better. How you doing? Look at you. Did you dress up for us today?
No, I'm Persian. I get dressed up to go throw the trash out. You know that.
And the cologne.
Hey,
what type of cologne you wearing?
me and Milos were just going back and forth to pronounce your real name. Is it Sharia or Sharia?
No, it's Shah, like the Shah of Iran. Shahriar. So that's the best. That's the.
Oh, so I should have just split it up in two names. Sharia.
Yeah, Shahriar. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, because Milos said Sherry.
I said Shari.
Don't get me started on Milos. We just started.
Why you sweating, dog? You just got in?
You look like you lost a little weight, King. Your face is a little smaller. Because all these years, every time I see something from you, I still see you with that big, round, full moon face. But right now,
I think I'm forever gonna have a 50-pound head, man. That's never gonna go nowhere.
No, it's much better now,
head
though.
is gonna be
It's
there.
much. Are you downsized now, or you just lost
I
fat?
have to downsize, man. I have, man. You know how it is. Once you get to a certain point, you just start to feel like you just shouldn't be doing what you're doing anymore. So you just start to pull back. So I have made a deal. I made a promise to myself. I'm not going above 250 ever again. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh before?
270s, in the 270s.
And how much are you right now?
5'8"?
About 250.
250. That's still big.
Yeah.
5'8"?
5'8". No, I'm 5'2". 5'8".
Everybody, listen. Everybody, I'm 5'8" now. I used to be almost 6 foot, and I'm down to 5'8". Shit
Okay,
happens.
that is you were not 6 foot, but I was legitimate 179. It was 5'10" and a half. I'm less than 5'9" now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I went for with Logan in Texas. I said, okay, I didn't measure myself for a while. Let me see. And I was 5'9". Then in Reno's show, there was again a scale, and I'm complaining like, hey, it has to be
5'8".
wrong. And I step on it, it's 5'8" and 3/4. I'm not gonna step anymore. Fuck.
That's the vertebrae.
That's what. How much did you shrink, Chris?
At least about an inch and a half.
Yeah,
Probably under 5'10".
That happens.
I was like around, me and Ronnie around the same height before.
Yeah. That happens when you get into the 50 club. You're not 50 yet, King, are you?
Yeah, I just turned 50 this year.
Did you really?
Damn.
Oh, okay. Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
What?
Yeah, the club sucks. How's that? I hate the fucking club. I can't.
All right, listen.
What I hate the most is when the kids in the gym come up to me. He's like, "Sir, can I use that piece of equipment right there?" I'm like, "God damn it! Call me sir one more time, and I'm gonna fucking smack you across your face."
I've been in the club for so long. I'm already used to it. I don't really care no more.
Hey, King. Next thing is the grandpa. So be fortunate with this.
Oh, how old is your daughter now?
She living
My
out of
daughter's
Vegas?
14.
She's 14 now. You still got a little bit of time.
No, but I didn't mean a real grandfather. It's they're calling me grandpa. It pisses me off.
Oh, you mean?
Grandpa.
Dennis,
I can see us rolling around in some wheelchairs. Trying to raise
Dennis, I got a question for you, Dennis.
Go
What
ahead.
are the boundaries here? What can we talk about and what can't we
You
talk
can talk
about?
about anything you
Okay.
want. There's no boundaries. We don't censor anything.
Within reason. We just want the real history.
Hey, listen, man. I know the code. I know
tripping.
the bro code. I'm not going to break the bro code.
Okay.
Trust me. I got you.
I share the better.
So
I
let's.
share the better. Telling you.
Yeah. No, we can say
But
whatever.
King,
We can say whatever we want to say.
All right.
You know what I mean? But we're just gonna try to do it as respectful as possible. Sometimes you gotta hurt some feelings, and that's just the way it is. But
Okay.
the truth sometimes got to come
I got
out.
no problem with that.
Yeah. So
Like,
No problem with that.
like we all hated you back in 2001 when you came about.
Yeah, you was.
I don't think no.
You was what they call in America a son of a bitch.
Hey,
A prick.
hey, who was the first one that had it with him? Because I'll tell you a story right now. I remember I'm sitting in Thailand in my little computer. I just got the internet. It was really in the beginning in Thailand. not in the U.S., in Thailand. So I'm on the internet, and I get this email. I think it was an email. I don't remember exactly. It was from King. It's like, that was before his first pro show back in early, what was it, 2000?
2001.
Was it
2001.
2001, okay. But before, it was like a few months before, he sent me an email. I don't know. Yeah, it was an email from you saying something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but, basically calling me out and telling me he's coming, I'm coming. And then I was like, I emailed him back, and then I got a response from King saying, listen, that wasn't me, that was a friend of mine. You remember that, King?
I don't remember that, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. Yeah,
I responded to the email because, and then you said, "Listen, I'm," because I responded something like, "And what gives you the right to call yourself King? You ain't done shit yet." And then you responded to, "Listen, my name is King. It's Iranian Sharia, Raya." And then you said that this email came from one of your friends, that did that shit. It wasn't you.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything like that.
And then you
That's
jumped
not my-
over, and you got it with Craig Titus. So that was very
Well, that was
interesting.
different because he was so easy. He just all you had to do is just look at him wrong, and he'd lose his mind. So he was, and Chris wasn't helping either by pumping shit into his head the whole time they're in Venice, man. Chris, Craig
Let me
Titus
tell
would
you.
hump.
Let me tell you something real quick before we start. Welcome to the show. By the way, it's good to have you on. And I just want to say, when we were, that's when ESPN had the whole East Coast, West Coast rivalry type stuff going on. All the guys from the East Coast thought they were all that, hard trainers, hardcore, blue collar guys. We were the beach guys. We had the ocean breeze coming through Ghost in Venice. We was out there, we had all the girls in the sun and the buns, all that stuff going on. But they were out, we didn't work hard and they worked hard. So it was this whole thing going on. So then I'm going from Redondo Beach to Venice, back and forth. He had a cousin that worked in the bank that I was going into.
Who King had a cousin?
King had a cousin.
Okay.
Yeah. And not only were they on ESPN talking madness, like he was going to come and do what and watch out for me. I'm the next guy coming up with I got the body, I got the looks, I got the moves, this type of attitude. I was like, wait a minute, homeboy, you coming to the Iron Man? Like, I'm the Iron Man champ. Like, I'm returning Iron Man champion. Like, I was just, so I'm offended already without even meeting the guy.
Right.
Then I go to sign my check, and then the lady's like, "Oh, you're Chris Cormier?" I was like, "Yeah," because it says Broderick on my check. She said, "You're Chris Cormier?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, my cousin's gonna beat you." I was like, "What?" That's when Anadrol kicked in.
She used to do the same thing to Jay, though, too. She would see Jay around town, and she would say the same thing to Jay.
I said, "What?" I said, "Who's your cousin?" I was like, "Who the hell is your cousin?" He's like, King Kamali. He's like, King Kamali. I was like, I was like, "Oh, he's sending messages back to his family." Okay.
But you know what? Fucking the balls he had to choose the show in fucking California and come out, talk all that shit, and then he had nuts the size of a fucking ostrich egg.
We waiting for him to come. Right? He's like, we can't wait to see him. And I have video with you. Came in. You said hello to somebody next to. No, you said hello to Tony Freeman.
Right.
And he's helping me, and he's got my kid in his hand. He's like helping me backstage. You come say hello to him. You gave me a dirty look, and then you walked off. And you didn't say shit to me. I was like, okay, it's on. This is like backstage. I seen it on video just the other day. I can show you.
To put all of that into perspective, I had your goddamn pictures on my wall and in my locker in high school. So shut the hell up.
I don't believe for 1 second that King did this because he wanted to do it. I think that was just a facade to make a name for himself, and it worked like never before. I mean, he did the right thing. He brought the condition. He had a big mouth. He didn't really attack people in person. He didn't do that. He just basically said, I'm coming, and I'm coming to do some damage.
Yeah.
You know,
So we-
and everybody got butt hurt because
Yeah, I
this
was pissed.
dude
I
has the
really was.
nerves to talk like this. He never
Yeah.
even been on a pro stage.
So to him, his name was Rookie. That
Yeah.
was that was my name for him was Rookie. That was it. I didn't call him King.
Listen, when I was talking to Chad before coming up to that, he told me, he said, he was very honest with me. He said, King, you're not going to be able to beat these top guys. You're not going to. But what you can do is you can make a statement with conditioning. If you can make a statement with conditioning, you can creep yourself in there. He wasn't expecting me to get third place that night. He was expecting me to do well and get into, maybe the second call out or the third call out. It was the conditioning that pulled me through, but it wasn't that.
And your mouth. It was not just the
Yeah, but
conditioning,
that was because
and your mouth.
that was because when I contacted Flex and the Weeder people, I forgot it. Jim Schmaltz, was that his name? Schmaltz?
Jim Smalls,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jim Schmaltz. And I said, Jim, what the fuck can I do? These guys are getting all the press, this and that. He goes, well, just talk shit. He goes, just talk shit about people, and we'll put it in the magazines. And of course, the most easiest person was Craig, and then Melvin was right there too because he had a big mouth too. I mean, so that was what I was trying to do. And yes, Dennis, you're right. It was a facade because these guys were all my idols.
Yeah.
All of them. All you guys were my idols.
So we get up on the stage, and I'm saying, okay, here we go. This is my show. I'm in the middle. So then here we go. We hitting a couple shots. He's inching and inching and inching. He's focused on me when he's hitting the shot. He's hitting a tricep shot.
Well,
He's all on my side.
but Chris, imagine the motivational kick he got by being in the first call out with you and Melvin.
Oh, yeah.
Now he was unstoppable.
He did good.
Yeah.
So then he just creeped over too much, and then you see the video. Boom! I'm not. Scoot over, here, fucking rookie.
He did. Let me add to that. Let me add to that. You didn't punch me. You threw me away like this, and you said, "Get the fuck off of me." That's what you said. That's the exact thing you said, because I got it on video too. You said, "Get the fuck off of me," and I said, "Yo, man, I didn't mean it." Calm down.
So what? Listen, and that was fucking 21 years ago, man. God, can you imagine?
Right.
So King, what are you up to nowadays, man? What's going on with you? Because it's we don't hear a lot. We see you sometimes on Generation Iron stuff, but what is King Kamali up to, man? What are you doing?
Nothing in my bodybuilding has changed as far as eating 8 meals a day, still living the lifestyle.
You
still
eat
taking
8 meals a day still?
I can't. Can I tell you something? It's not because it's just a force of habit. I can't explain it. It's not like I'm force feeding myself like I was before. Now, mind you, I'm not eating as much as I did before. It's smaller portions, but every 2 to 2.5 hours, I try to get something in. I try to eat because in my mind right now, Dennis, if I'm not going to take the gear that I used to, at least I can compensate by eating a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, if you
I try to
have
feed
the
myself
appetite.
a little bit more instead of taking the gear, and I just won't do the gear like that anymore. I won't do it. No,
It doesn't work that way.
Not like that.
I couldn't do 8 meals if I wanted to.
It's impossible.
It's not that difficult for me, man. It's just it is what it is.
I get it because when I think back 25 years, I could eat 10 meals and still be hungry. But right now, 4 meals and that's it.
See, but I also another thing that I do is I look at the kids in the gym and I see what they're doing right now. And I look at the Instagram pages and I see the videos, the YouTube videos and stuff like that. And what's happening now, the difference between now and what we used to do is I know what Chris was taking because he was working with Chad. I know what Ronnie was taking. I know because I had a close relationship. I know when you would. I know what everybody was taking because I had a close relationship with Chad, and he trusted me and stuff. We never did.
Chad revealed all our shit.
Chad would be very honest.
We gonna make him lose his license.
He was just honest. He would tell me, no, that's not what we do. That's not how much this, Ronnie's not doing that, King. He's not. He's doing the same thing. He's doing just the same as you. We just rely on food.
Right.
Now, what I see and what I hear in the gym is insane.
Yeah.
It's beyond what I can comprehend.
We just talked
what these
about
guys are trying to do.
Yeah, we just talked about this last week. What the crazy cycles that we see from athletes that trying to get on our teams, and that's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, this is something common. This is something that Milos maybe can talk about. This is something that I see almost on a daily basis. All these kids are walking around, the competitors are walking around with these colorful fucking jugs in their hands. They'll do 2 sets. Then they'll go to the bathroom, 5 minutes in the bathroom, they'll come back out, and they'll finish the last 2 sets or 3 sets. And finally, I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I know what they're doing. They're using the insulin protocol, but it's not a good look.
They go into the bathroom during workout to shoot insulin?
Yeah, during the bathroom. Yeah.
The only, listen, Ken.
That's new. What changed?
There will be no point of doing an insulin in the middle of a workout, because if you did it right before, it would peak when you're training. Right. But when somebody goes to the bathroom, and I've seen this, your best friend Craig did it. I followed him to the bathroom so many times. He would shoot Nubain or take Coke. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that's what I would guess. Either Nubain or cocaine. Something main.
Not insulin. I mean, even that fastest acting Fiasp that works within 3 minutes, it peaks in 45 minutes. So it's no point of doing it in the middle. But King, I want to ask you first. I want to give you credit for 2001 when you came. You backed up all the shit that you were talking.
Yeah.
I didn't even compete, and I hated you. I mean, really, you managed. I mean, you went under.
Which means mission accomplished.
Yeah, and listen, and 2001 Ironman, top 3, top 4 at Arnold Classic week later, first 2 pro shows. I mean, you backed up everything, so I have to give you credit. But my question for you is you're complaining about these kids and all that. Did you train back in the day twice a day or once a day?
Once,
all the way through.
Well, no. When contest prep came out, I did my fasted cardio in the morning, and then I trained in the afternoon and did my second session of cardio immediately after I finished training.
But still 2 cardios, one workout.
Yeah, one fasted in the morning and then cardio at night after training.
Did you have a job? Did you have a job during that time, or were you just bodybuilding?
No.
Okay.
No job.
Because some people train only once because they have a job to attend during the day, and that's
but once I got to listen, once I won the nationals, I sat down with my parents and I said, listen, I have 2 options here. This is option 1. This is option 2. If you guys support me for the next couple of years, I won't be able to compete against these guys unless I put on another 20 pounds of muscle, and I can't do that right now. So Chad actually had a conversation with my father too. He said he needs time, and I'll get him a contract, a small contract, but if he can stay at home and you guys do this and that, and he'll buy his own supplements and pay his own membership to the gym, he'll do it. That's what I did, and I was lucky enough to have parents to take care of me, to support me, to let me do what I needed to do. So it was eat, sleep, train. I didn't go out. I didn't do anything with my friends. They all were in Cancun and doing this and that. Those 2 years is what did everything for me. But thank God I had parents who let me stay with them and let me do what I needed to do.
That's wonderful. But you train only, sleep, eat, train, go to, I mean, you train only once? I mean, that's why Dennis even say you probably had a job. That's why we all felt we need to train twice. I mean, that's all you do. That's your profession. So 2 is more than 1. I had 6 days a week, twice a day. I mean, that's all my career. So I'm actually kind of surprised. I was expecting that you train more. Just once. No,
and the funny thing is that I was reading in the magazines with Dennis and especially Dennis, how he would train twice a day and how it was not a part of my protocol. I just never did it like that. So I was always in the mindset of hit it so fucking hard in that first, when you hit it, that it takes about 5 days to recover from that for that muscle group. That's the way I did it.
It works.
It was dangerous. It was very, very fucking dangerous, but that's the way I was doing it from day one.
You have any injuries now?
Right now, knock on wood, no really serious injuries, but little things are popping up that never popped up before. Like I get a little twinge here, or the brachialis here starts to hurt after a while. If I go really, really heavy on the leg presses, my ankle starts to. So these are the little things, but I compensate for that. I'm crazy when it comes to ice and post-workout therapy, and I watch fucking Joe Rogan and Hicks and Gracie's videos and stuff into how do I relax and how do I meditate? How do I get my shit back? But squatting 405, get the fuck out of here. It's not gonna fucking, no way.
No more squatting for you.
No squat 3. If I'm insane and I'm wrapped my knees, if I want to go one day and do 315, I'll do it. But I'm not risking it anymore.
Yeah.
I see too many videos. I see Ronnie and I fucking tears drop down my face. I don't want that shit to happen to me, man.
Milos, do you still squat?
No. I mean, my
You want to
knees
know?
are
You want to know
destroyed.
what my leg workout is? Honestly,
Yeah, leg extension, leg
four
curls,
sets of
leg
leg,
press.
4 sets of leg extension, 4 sets of seated leg curls.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just enough. I thought it was just enough not to have a saggy ass. You know? But it's not helping, to be honest. But I don't have to drive. I don't have to drive to do. Chris, why are you laughing? How many leg presses you do?
Because
Anyway?
because the thing is, because you start to, even when you lay on the bench, like I feel little shit that was never there before. I'm like, what the fuck? The fuck, is that a double roll under my ass?
Don't you hate the fact now? This is what
Oh my God.
this is what I realized. It was never there, and it's been there for like, I would say, maybe less than a year. But now, when you see somebody, you hug somebody, and you know they hug you in the muffin top, and they grab the back of you, I was like, don't do that.
Bro, I feel like I'm training my bones. It's just fucking.
That's what I'm asking about.
It was just like cushion and shit happening and fiber. Now it's just
Chris,
like,
do you still train? You still really train?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm easily to put my needs aside to put that energy towards someone else.
That's why I'm asking, because sometimes when you're in the gym training other people, the last thing you want to do is train yourself.
I know. It was easy. That's why I never trained people when I was competing. I helped people, but I was never trying to be a personal trainer back then.
Now, see, I think Milos, he has that, always had that drive to still train with the people he trains.
Yeah. It was fun, because it's a challenge. Look, I was never as strong as you guys, so shit. So I would try to bring the intensity by doing this superset, giant sets, fucking high reps, just to hang in there. But that's why I'm asking King, because King was doing super heavy, right? Heavy duty shit. And that's why I'm asking if you have injuries, because, we all see Ronnie, and I can imagine all of us. Okay, I'm almost 60 now, shit. The 50 club is actually, kindergarten. Everything hurts. And I didn't really injure, but accumulation of all that shit. As my father was saying, hot shots, wait until you're 50. Like, what is going to happen when I'm 50? I mean, Jesus Christ, like you said, you do nothing, and then you can hurt yourself just making a step. And then it's toward the biceps, wiping his ass, right?
True.
Yeah, the shit. So, King, you don't have any major injuries after training super heavy all your career?
No.
Fuck, that's surprising.
Well, listen, he just turned 50. Give him some time.
Right, but listen, like I said, I adapted, man. I don't do those crazy things anymore. I work out at a retro gym, okay? And retro's dumbbells go up to 120. That's it. So I don't, even if I wanted to act like an imbecile or a fucking moron, I can't. There's no weight there to do it. So I'm not going to do that. I put myself back. It's not. Listen, it's better to be smart and to enjoy life than to be fucking stupid and end up in a wheelchair or worse. Because we all know, without really diving too much into it, I mean, this past 2 years, how many more fucking people are going to drop, man? I mean, I can't take this shit. It's scary to me, man.
Yeah.
It really is scary.
But you live long enough, you will see people pass. So that's one thing. It's a cycle of life, something.
Not so many people that I knew. I mean, these are all people that I knew and I had the relationships with and stuff like that. And it's not even just the professional bodybuilders. I know a lot of people from Iran that are dropping dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, but listen, I went there. I went there a few years back, and I came back, and I told a lot of people when they asked me, so King, what is it like over there? I said, look, there's the good and there's the bad. The good is there's phenomenal bodybuilders coming up. Obviously now we got Hatti, and there's people. There's a bunch of Hattis. Believe me, they just nobody's seen them yet.
Right.
There's a bunch of fucking Hattis in Iran that are. as good as him, or maybe even a little bit better. But unfortunately, they just they think that we are lying to them when we say it's food. They think that it's a lie. And Dennis, you know this is true because you've been there. When you sit there and say, no, you got to eat. You got to eat. You got to eat. It's the food. You got to pound. You got to force feed. You got to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and eat it. No. What drugs are you guys taking? What are you taking? So when I saw the protocols and, recently, in the last few days, things have come out about Hatti's ex-coach and what he's been doing this and that. I'm not going to confirm it and I'm not going to deny it, but I'm going to let you know that those things are happening there. They're taking, obscene amounts of things that it's going to eventually catch up to you. And we all know when we were in our 20s and early 30s, we were supermen. I don't want to know. Well, don't you want to know? Don't you want your blood? I don't want to know. I'm fine. Everything is fine. We all did that at one point or another. But at this particular point, they don't care. And what's happening is it's catching up to them a lot quicker than it caught up to us.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've seen sometimes some of these people from Iran that I don't even know. They sent me like messages that somebody died. This one died. Young bodybuilders, So it happens. It happens everywhere. It's crazy. Let's talk about
when you're taking 60 IUs of insulin a day, you're gonna die. Eventually, something's gonna happen to you. 60 to 100 IUs of insulin? Are you fucking out of your mind?
Shit.
That's what they're doing.
I did 50 in one shot one time by accident. And I'm still here. Hey, and I'm still here. Yeah, but it was truly an accident. I explained that last week. It will be out this weekend. This weekend it will be in the podcast.
Yeah, just for the record, just for history's sake, like I like that we talk, about the things that transpired before. We all, been at odds with each other at some point or another. And all that stuff in the past, like we was all able to grow and be better together now, how we do now with this round table and stuff, thanks to Dennis. We have, just for history's sake, let the people know, you came in with a splash, you did your thing at the Ironman, you looked good.
Did his thing at the Arnold, beat Dexter Jackson.
And so that's what I'm talking about is the Arnold. When you came to the Arnold, can you tell us about your experience that you went through at the Arnold? Because before we do our meeting where we all sucked up, we all looking at each other at the meeting, then we all get on the bus and then we all drive over to the auditorium and we all got to sit and then we're still looking at each other. So many things happened at that time. It's so funny. Like if you want to go back and you remember that time?
Who, me? Or King?
King.
Yeah, of course I remember. I remember like.
So do you remember when it was me and Ronnie, we both went like for the center stage doing the pose down and King came in between us and went like this to me and Ronnie.
Yeah, man, I was just I don't even know what the fuck was happening that
But
night,
again, King got he was in the second call out with
and also that was in the lead-in photo for the competition was King pushing me and Ronnie out the way like that, and I'm coming back like this.
I got punched
and
by two gorillas, man.
Ronnie's coming down low like this.
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday, man. I remember there's a lot of things I remember about the Arnold. I don't remember anything backstage. I don't remember the prejudging, to be honest with you. I do remember the finals a little bit. Wayne Galash contacted me. He sends me he downloads to watch these things. Yeah, I mean it's all nostalgic and stuff like that, but for me, that first year, it was all just conditioning. That's what was pulling me through was conditioning. That's what Chad pounded in my head over and over again. You got to come in conditioned because they're not going to look at you unless you're conditioned. So that's what I tried to do for those shows.
Yeah, no.
In 2001, Ironman, the best lights, and you really came alive. There was Chris and Melvin, of course, but it's not like you could have beat Chris, but you made it interesting because you're conditioning your side hamstring glute tie-in and shit, and you were doing all the right things, striations and all that. But I remember because I was coaching Dennis at that time. We both hated your guts.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, you know I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
And you were going to the Arnold Classic. and I know that there was a moment you were standing right next to Dennis, and you were kind of not in a lineup, but off on the stage, and you were kind of like challenging him to compare the quad separation and shit.
I don't remember any of that.
I don't remember that either.
I remember very well, because I mean, you managed to get under the skin. I don't even know if you remember. In 2002, I had a knee brace, and I was pissed off about you for something, and I was chasing you in the Arnold Classic. You remember that one?
At the airport, you mean?
He can't even fucking walk, and he was chasing me. There was something I don't know that you said, and I needed to see you. You made fun of it, yeah.
You remember all this shit. I don't remember all this. I don't remember any of this shit.
Do you remember? Do you remember we were in Australia and you and Craig was going at it on the stage? It was like a comedy hour, dude. It was like we stopped competing. We just laughing and these guys going back and forth, teasing each other about their fucking bloated stomach or not, or you have this, you have that. And they're like just talking shit the whole, and they just let them go at it. They were just going at it. So then they called them out again to compare again, and they were just making fun of each other the whole time. That was 100% Wayne D'Amelia's fault. That was Wayne. He wanted to put on a show, and he said, call Kamali and Titus back out again after that. And I remember when I did my back double bicep, I screamed out, "Lights out, baby!" And you and Dexter almost fell down laughing. And I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm being because Greg was so mad.
Up.
Greg was so mad. He was so mad.
But after that was the night. After that prejudging, I finally went up to Craig backstage and I said, enough. I said, well, okay, can we cut it? Can we? And he goes, yeah, we're cool. And that's it. After that, I was like, you know what?
I was there.
Enough is enough. Man.
I didn't really hate you. I just didn't like you. Because I didn't know you. That's the quote of the year right there. I know. For me personally, there's a huge difference if I hate someone or if I don't like someone. Don't like someone means, listen, I don't like him because I don't even know him. I said, how am I going to hate you when I don't even know you? But you did say a lot of things, and I was like, and I didn't like you for the fact because when I came up, I thought, you kind of come up with respect for the guys that's been there. So that's how I approached it, and you just approached it a little bit different, which at the end, made total sense to me. I'm not arguing with you about this. It made total sense at the end, because when I finally got to meet you, I said to myself, "This is actually a cool dude." He said he's just putting on a facade this whole time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. But look at how much fun the audience and the fans had with that. Look how much passion. When we used to go to guest posing appearances or we had a competition, we had these people. We were like rock stars to these people. And now Blessing and Nick are trying to do what we did for real. Like, we didn't fake it. You understand? Right now, when Blessing got up on stage with Nick and said, "I'm going to kick your ass at the end," it looks fake to me.
It didn't look fake. It was fake. That's why.
It looks like it's staged. Yeah. It doesn't look real at all. Yeah. When I'm on stage and Craig could potentially murder me and put me in a suitcase and take me in the desert and light me on fire, okay, that's different, man. I almost died, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Craig, you never know. You could have ended up in the trunk.
But the thing
I could have ended up in the trunk in the desert, man. That's what I could have ended up in.
The thing is, though, he was my training partner for a lot of these times, and it was some shit. Like, sometimes me and Flex had different odds and stuff. Craig was down to fucking help. He was down to have your back on some shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he didn't care.
He didn't give a shit. He
didn't care. Yeah.
He was down. You was training partner. You like on the same team,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just think, and then later on, I found myself in in your hotel room. Remember the New Orleans? You invited me to come to your room. I was like, damn, this dude want me to come to his room.
We went out to dinner that night. We went out to dinner. We went to clubs.
Yeah, we danced with each other in the club.
We ended up in some fucking gay club, and within 10 seconds, we're like, what the fuck are we doing here? Got the hell out of there. And then Chris said, I know the best po' boy place. It's a dump, but let's go eat. Like, that's when I think you started to finally come around and like me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, all you have to do is just get to know you. That's it. That's all it takes. It takes 2 minutes.
Listen, when we started this conversation, I said I'm not going to break the bro code. Chris and I have done some fucked up shit. Okay, some real fucked up shit. All right, and I can't even say it now because I'm dating somebody seriously right now, and I don't want her to think that I'm that guy.
She don't. Well, I think we all have stories from who knows 20-something years ago. But let's talk about bodybuilding here for a second. Portugal Pro this last weekend. Did anybody follow? King, you still follow the sport, like the shows?
I through Instagram. I get pictures from Flex online and NPC News online and stuff like that. I see what's happening.
Yeah, Milos, did you?
Of course. I'm good friends with Mauro Sassi, as you know. And I mean, by the way, we talked about you because when Andrea Presti won this show last year, you made a comment like, "Oh yeah, when he comes to the Olympia, he's going to see the real competition, right?"
What did he get at? What did he get at the Olympia? Dead last.
Yeah, he was dead last. Yeah, I mean, I understand. But for young aspiring guys that looked up to you and then. But Dennis James said that it was like really.
I didn't say this to disrespect him. I just gave my honest opinion.
Yeah, matter of fact. Yeah, I understand. But listen, that maybe fire him up, and I don't know if you've seen it. I mean, Andrea, especially upper body is state of the art. Condition, bone dry. Really like a stone. Legs are still down, but I didn't know he had like 2 quad. Surgeries, 1 hamstring tear, shit like this, but it's coming up. I mean, for me, he was crystal clear winner, crystal clear. Yeah. The second place, Andrea Musi, the other Andrea, right? He had a much better legs. Conditioning was not as good, and then doesn't have a chest and back detail. So I was kind of surprised because I was expecting this. Fifth guy, Ukrainian Suchurenko, to be a top player. Vlad, yeah.
This guy won his pro card at my show back in 2019 in Frankfurt, Germany.
And he improved. I mean, he is 269. Fucking everything is there. Conditioning was not perfect. And then what we talk about is, site injections were distracting. So a lot of, I guess, judges point out to him.
When you say side injections, where did you see
shoulders?
Your shoulders, but Andrea Musti's shoulders, they look very suspicious too.
No, Andrea, he has the striations. It's like when you see.
I'm not saying he put Synthol in there because he definitely not, but I agree with you that he looked much better than compared to last year. But I don't get why he would still complain about something I said last year before the Olympia. So that means I did. So does that mean that I helped him get better?
Yeah, listen, for sure.
I'll take that.
He goes to say, look, we all have a chip on the shoulder when we hear something. You can't help.
They came to me
it's gonna make you train harder. Then you should welcome it.
Last year at the Olympia, before the Olympia, like 2 days before in Orlando, I walked past them and they came up to me and they approached me, and I know Mauro too. So he said, "Yeah, man, it was a little." I said, "Listen, I said exactly what I said. I said, listen, he looked good. He deserved to win. Was it the same show last year? Wasn't it?
Same show. Yeah.
He deserved to win, but he's going to have a very hard time at the Olympia, especially as an Olympia rookie." That's all I said. I didn't break down his physique. I didn't say anything about his body. All I said is he's going to have a hard time at the Olympia.
Yeah, the way you put it, actually, I listened to it because Mauro sent me the video. You put there are levels to this game, and he's going to realize he's not at that level.
And was I wrong? Was I wrong?
Listen,
Was I wrong for telling the
That's all true
was
love.
was I wrong for keeping it real?
yeah, look. The
He said,
truth,
"Yeah,
truth. No, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people can't handle the truth.
yeah."
I say I should never be afraid to speak the truth, right? But then how you put it, you have to sugarcoat it with the cherry on the top.
I can't do that.
You know, me neither. But just to jump on this one,
They
he's
want
improving.
some
And
they
listen,
want more foreplay is what he's saying.
I didn't hear you, Chris.
Foreplay.
Say what, Chris? Say that again.
They want more foreplay before you just.
That's the listen. I think that's the German in me. We'll just go straight to the point. I don't sugarcoat much because I don't think it's a waste
It
of a lot of
motivated
fucking.
the guy. He
Yeah.
came back better. He should be thanking
Yeah.
you, man.
And listen, you have to give him a credit. This guy is ripped to pieces
Totally.
year round.
Totally.
I mean, Jesus, he's constant professional. I mean, he really lives, breathes, eats, everything bodybuilding. So if he improves his legs, I mean, let's face it, yeah, that V taper is fucking crazy. Back down biceps.
All right.
Now his abs are in control, so he's super deep abs,
Now I'm asking you, Milos, because I'm not going to say another word. Now I'm asking you, what are your predictions for him at the Olympia this year?
He's going to have a hard time making a top 10.
To be fair.
Yes, but listen.
Hey, but to be fair with this guy, I saw him up close at the California State Championship.
Yeah.
And I was impressed by the guy.
Super wide. The dude is wide. It's as wide as Rami.
I was like, damn,
Crazy.
from the back, that fool is thick. I
Yeah.
was like, damn. So that was my first time seeing him in person. So I know when you see someone in person or you see him on video, it's such a big difference.
Yeah.
And you can't really
He plays
tell.
very low there, right, Chris? In a Cal, he plays like 5th, 6th, something.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how he played so low because I was way more impressed by him to be closer in that.
He was
first
second in New York week before. Yeah.
Okay,
And he
and
was-
Andrea, if you're listening to this,
He
listen.
is impressive. Bro.
Now I'm telling you, you are much improved from last year. I think you're going to do much better than you did last year at the Olympia.
so.
Welcome
Probably
back to
so.
the Olympia. Now you're a legitimate Olympia contender. You compete. You qualified 2 years back to back, and I hope you make the necessary improvements. Bring your quads up, and I guarantee you, you will go far.
And
Dennis,
I
I got a question for Milos. Milos, I got
Yeah.
a question for you. Now that I got the mind here and we're talking real, do you think it's healthy to be shredded all year round? Because we used to be like 6 months of fat and happy.
No. You, not we.
Hey, listen.
Come on, man. I can go back and find on the internet.
That's a Photoshop. No, that's Photoshop. That's not a real picture. I know what you're talking about.
Hey, listen,
I'm doing
listen.
10.
Okay,
I'm doing 10
that's
shows a
perfect.
year, so I didn't really have time.
This is first time we talk about this subject. King, thank you for mentioning. Yes, King, it's healthy to be lean because there's millions of lean people all their life. They're just lean. We are bodybuilders. They want to build the muscle. We want to look like a bodybuilders on the stage year round. Just because you had excuse to eat big, get fat, that's healthy. How the fuck can fat be healthy? Oh yeah, you can lift heavier weights and you can no. I was lean year round, throughout. I did a contest on 4-week notice. I didn't supposed to compete, so excuse of off-season, eat big to get big and then, look unrepresentable. Let's put it that way, right? I mean, Sean Roden showed up in that guest posing looking like, what he looked like. I was with Nasser Al-Sambadi in Germany when Guy refused to pay him guest posing fee because he says you look like a fat pig, and then Nasser didn't even, he came out white as a ghost, hair kind of going through, right, and put the oil and some stupid, the pants, he didn't want to pay him. But bottom line is this. Do you like that fat look to yourself? Didn't you want to look massive in shape that any which way you turn, fibers are hitting, abs glued to your spine, fucking shit is happening on the quads, glutes, hamstring, right? Come on. So when you say, is this healthy to be such a low body? how many skinny people you know, how many athletes in other sports ripped to pieces all their lives. So yeah, just to tell you, my answer to that is yes, it's healthy. You eat healthy, you maintain the muscle mass, you keep body fat low. What is unhealthy about that?
Well, I agree with everything you just said right now, but I'm going to add a little bit to it there. Okay. When I personally, I'm just talking about myself. I'm not talking about anybody else because I don't want to hurt any feelings. When I personally did it, I took time off from gear. I cleaned out. I made sure that I'm clean. I made sure that my shit came back. I made sure I detoxed and all that stuff. That's what I had to do. It seems to me, I might be wrong. It seems to me that because of social media and because of everything that's happened, because everybody needs to look good all the time, people are staying on shit all year round. That was what I was trying to get to. It cannot be healthy to always look like that all the time because you're taking gear all the time.
Yeah, that's a different subject. I agree with you on that one.
Okay, all right. That's what I was trying to get to.
Okay, yeah. No. Taking, you see, if you question it this way, taking a gear year around is healthy. Of course, I will tell you right away, no. But staying lean. Now, yes, of course, we all did. You did, Dennis, Chris, myself, which people don't want to believe nowadays, that when we get off, we get off.
Completely.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's off means off completely. And, many of us for months and shit like this, yeah. That's what they don't want to believe. But when you're off, you're going to lose a little bit of that androgenic hardness. You're not going to be like contest ready. But keeping a low body fat, it's all nutrition and training and what you do. Yeah, that pharmacological effect you lose, so you're not going to be this. That's why the difference from natural and Jack.
Well, and I was going by what I was seeing, what my peers are doing. So when I saw Ronnie and when I saw Cormier walking around at 288, 290 pounds in the off season, and he's busting through his jeans, I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's what I have to do too. I got to put on that size. I got to eat. I got to get to that level of mass. And now it seems like people are getting to that level of mass, but also staying hard at the same time. You can't do that without gear. It's not possible.
Okay, but here, you open the can of worms. What do you think was healthier? For you guys to blow up to 300 pounds, and carry that weight and natural and all this shit, every time in the off season, year after year, or maybe me keeping myself lean year round? Drugs, the same way. Okay, so what is healthier? To blow up and lose all that stuff. Blow up, leave priest.
Okay. Milos, I get you, but I understood what King just mentioned.
Yeah.
He trying to say is, you weren't one of the biggest guys, so you stayed lean because you held you, and that's why you competed so much. But what King and I think that's what King trying to say is that he did it without gear. That's why he wasn't as hard looking as some of these guys today who are 300 pounds and look like they 4 weeks out from a contest. That's not possible without gear. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I got it that he first says, is this healthy to stay lean year around? So if this is the question, we don't read between the lines and, did you think about the gear? No. Is it healthy to stay lean year round? Hell yes. Okay. Should you be without the gear? Hell yes. I mean, we all did it. Now, the subject of going off season and get so big, is this right or wrong? Look, Ronnie, you guys, you all got much bigger than I ever did. Maybe because I never did that off season, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe there is something to it. But from health aspect, I don't think it's good to put 60 pounds, right? And that,
especially the water retention and then the high blood pressure and then all that other shit.
Yeah. But there's a fact, Dennis. There's something here that none of us can deny. Milos is alive.
Yeah.
King is alive. Dennis is alive. Chris is alive. We're alive, and we're in our 50s. Not too many of these kids are going to get to 40. That's what I'm trying to get to right now. It's something that nobody wants to talk about. It's this, it's that, but that's what I'm trying to say right now. My point is this. Yeah, I was a big fat fucking Michelin man when I was 300 pounds walking around at the Arnold Classic with my white spandex. Yes.
Yeah, and the tank. I was like, this motherfucker got nerves. And the tank top.
When Chad saw me with the white, and he put his hand over his face. He looked at Kim and goes, "This guy is out of his fucking mind." and I said, "You told me to get up to 300 pounds by the Arnold." I said, "You look like the Michelin Man, man. You look like the fucking Michelin Man." Anyway, but the point is that we're still alive, man.
Yeah.
We're still doing okay.
Yeah.
We're still kicking it. And then people like, God, rest in peace, like Dallas McCarver. I mean, those guys were the next generation. These guys that I really thought that these are the next group, and they're just dropping and dropping. That's why I asked the question, Milos. I'm not trying to start some fight. I'm just saying, to be, hard, to be in the off season and look decent is a great look, but they're not decent anymore. They look like they're about 4 weeks out from a show at 280 pounds when they're in the 212 division. You see what I'm saying? That can't be healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, there was that video about Don Solomon talking about Derek Lunsford. You heard that, Dennis?
Yes, I have that written down. I was going to talk to you guys about that.
We'll talk about it, but just I feel guilty not finishing about Andrea Presti, right? I think that if Andrea puts some more size on the quads, he's for sure top 10 contender.
Quads and triceps. This is the only thing that I would say.
But some of us had no arms and we could still get there, with everything.
But
else.
if you have such crazy shoulders like he has,
it is bigger.
that makes his triceps look a little bit smaller than it probably is.
Yes, for sure. But there is always little weaknesses. But I just want to say, he's a hardworking guy. If he really puts the quads, major quads. By the way, he called Mauro Sassi to jump on the stage, and as Mauro jumped on the stage, he tore his quad.
Oh, what?
Yeah. He's in the hospital. He's going to do the surgery. Just imagine, that shit. But third place was Peter Clanchier.
Yeah.
And I know that nobody can pronounce his name, but I would like to say Peter Clanchier. That's his name, Clanchier or whatever. Like I was shocked.
From France.
Clanchier. Phenomenal physique, right? Phenomenal physique. If this guy puts it together, right, he needs still a bigger back. But I don't know if you guys seen the chest, shoulders.
I was just saying, but he looks very impressive in pictures, but on stage it just doesn't come across. I've been through this for a few times.
Yeah.
But if he puts on, I would say 15 more pounds.
Yeah, and he has
and stays somewhat full. He has crazy shape.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So, but anyway, just to touch the subject of that competition. I do want to say I'm super happy about Andrea and Mauro.
Mm-hmm.
Mauro is becoming now his own.
All three of his guys placed 1, 2, 3, top three.
No, Andrea Munzi is no longer his.
Oh, okay.
Andrea Munzi is with somebody else. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that probably felt good then.
Yeah. But go ahead. You were gonna,
Yeah, I was going to bring up. Did you guys see the video with Dan Solomon? Talking about Derek Lunsford when Tariq asked him the question about Derek Lunsford, what's going to happen, and they addressed this, said this is something that they've never really had to deal with. A guy that's the 212 Mr. Olympia. Mm-hmm. And when we saw him, Chris, you were in Pittsburgh. He stood out on that stage next to these guys with not only the best condition, but a tremendous size that he put on. Now,
one thing that I noticed when he was up there, I mean to cut you off, Dennis, but when he was up there still, like I was just checking out the proportions of the different body parts on his physique. That even makes it even more.
Yeah, everything flowed. Yeah, everything flowed. So when he was 260, he was 260. So, and when you look at his condition at 260, he would have to lose a lot of muscle to make 212.
So that's the point of also what King was saying. So heavy, 265, and now going down to 212, right? So this is Don Solomon's point, right? Is this healthy? And what
he was lean
if he doesn't make it?
He was lean.
Yeah. Should he get an invite to the Open?
I would put an invite. I told him right away. I would invite the guy to the Open.
Hey, listen, I would give a 212 immediate Open invitation. Yeah. I would. I was all, this is when we touched the subject once. Back in the day when they have a lightweight, heavyweight Olympias, in 6 outings, 4 times lightweight won over heavyweight. Only Arnold beat Franco, right? But Frank Zane was beating everybody else, right? And 4 out of 6 times lightweight champ won. We discussed this, and I know, King, what is your opinion? If Mr. Olympia stands for best bodybuilder in the world, and 212 is bodybuilding, not classic or men's physique, right? It's still judged by the bodybuilding rules. It's a bodybuilder, just scaled down, right? Okay, but put him on the stage, let him to compete, and let the best bodybuilder win. So for me, I even wanted, that's the day before his 212, okay? If he wins, he should compete at Open Olympia next day. Before, they only had a heavyweight and lightweight champion one-on-one, which is easier for a lightweight champion, right? But if 212 actually participates in the prejudging and the finals of the Olympia, as Sean Clarida and Calderon, 212 won open divisions, right? It's not like impossible, right? It's not impossible that they can make an impact. So my point is, 212 division champion should be immediately invited, and he can choose if he wants to compete or not. But invitation should be there. But in this case, if Derek is trying to lose weight, he wants to do 212, and he's not going to make it, I think this is for the first time that we hear from officials, maybe he should be allowed. For sure he should be allowed. Imagine if he can.
Well, I believe, this is my opinion now. I didn't hear that from anybody. I just believe that they already know what's going on. I think Hatti, Derek, and the powers to be already know where he's going to compete this year. And if he is in the open, he's already training for this right now. I don't think that there's any confusion right now. I'm going to try to make 212, and if I can't make it, I'm going to go into the open. I think they already have a deal, and it's just not public right now. So this is just my opinion, guys. So don't go out there screaming.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I 100%.
You know, we're 5 months out from the Olympia. I know 5 months before a show what I'm training for. There's no way that I'm going to try to make 212, and if I can't make it, then I'm just trying to rebound and go in the open. No, it doesn't work like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I was already, when he was still on stage.
I tell you this. Yeah.
He was still on stage, and I was up there talking to the judges about him being in the open and should be invited to the open.
I tell you this. There's going to be a lot of people in trouble.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, hell yes. I
Dude,
mean,
half his body is all pec. This is pec.
There's going to be a lot of people in trouble, and especially people.
He's built to do some damage.
Yeah, especially people his height, because he's really, really complete, and from the back,
back is no joke.
Yeah, and with the added size now, can you imagine?
But bro, but even with improved posing, he'll be more dangerous than that, because posing is still not where it should be.
Yeah,
still not.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I said if he's doing the open, and it's going to be
easily.
I'm going to go out in the limp, top 3 to top 4.
Yeah, easily top 4.
not easily, but possibly. I mean, let's respect everybody.
It's easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Milos on this.
Let's do this. Let's say who is there that he cannot beat this year?
Hatti. He can't beat Hatti.
You say Hatti.
He can't beat Hatti.
Okay, listen. Hatti is way more blockier than him. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
When Hatti, okay, 100%, you're right. But when Hatti hits poses, Hatti jumps out.
Yeah, I'm just saying, them on stage, his waist is going to be smaller. Hatti's brainy ass.
I believe that Derek will expose a few flaws on Hatti, possibly.
Yeah,
you know.
What are Hatti's flaws? I really want to know.
Like
Dennis, you're an expert. I love.
No. It's the waistline in certain shots. You know.
But here, so Derek's best pose is
back double biceps. I think that Derek's is better.
When he lifts his arms, that V-taper extreme is fucking crazy. I agree with Chris that last year he didn't pose well at Olympia. I mean, I even criticized him. What the hell are you doing, sticking that leg out like you're cowboy riding the horse and shit like that, right? But now in Pittsburgh, when he, the legs all over the internet, right, was full separated, lean already at 265. Okay, he doesn't have arms of Hatti Chupan, right? And he doesn't have a conditioning from the front, especially. When I talked to Honey Rainbow after the Olympia, and I said, like, look, conditioning from the back was crazy, right? But from the front is just not the same. And he goes, it's not about conditioning, it's just a muscle maturity. So he just is still fresh, right? He needs to mature a little bit more. But conditioning-wise, he said that's why from the back he looked harder than from the front. Okay, so when I seen Derek come to the stage at the 212 last year and turn to the front, my first impression was not, whoa, look at the condition, right? As he turned around and then hit the back down biceps and striated glutes, hamstring, everything was popping, like, ooh, then you start appreciating, oh, shit, I didn't maybe, and then I start appreciating more. But look at his most muscular. There was not striated chest, and which Hatti has to the next level. Right?
Absolutely. But we're talking about Derek Lunsford from last year. So we're talking about the new Derek Lunsford. Now, okay, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you guys here. I'm just saying that there's going to be a few guys in trouble. So he can't beat Hatti. I don't think he can beat Ramy if Ramy's in shape. And I don't think he will beat Brandon if Brandon is in shape. So, but I think he fares very well with all the other guys.
Labrada?
Yes, Labrada, Nick Walker. And I'm not talking size. I'm talking complete package, Yeah. And I'm not trying to hype him up here. I was just so impressed. And I saw him standing next to Nick Walker at the Pittsburgh Pro. And if I would have to judge it at that moment, he would win hands down.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's just very rarely that somebody impresses me with because we've seen them all. So it's very rarely
that side by side, all of us, me, you, and Jay.
Yeah, I was so impressed.
You're like, what the fuck is happening right now?
It was literally a wow factor.
King, how do you see it?
I don't think he can beat any of those guys. I think that because listen. I'm gonna use a quote that Dorian said a while back. Everyone said to Dorian, if Nasser gets a back, he'll beat you next year. Dorian's response was, he's been training for 18 years. What makes you think he's gonna get a back in 1 year? Okay? I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna use that and kind of like manipulate it to Derek. Derek is a fantastic bodybuilder. He looks great symmetry. He made some improvements, okay? When he stands next to the top 5 guys in the open class at the Olympia, he's gonna look small. He's going to be an obvious size difference from a guy who's jumping up from the 212 into that shit. And Hatti, and with his conditioning and his muscularity, Brandon with his shape and his muscularity, Ramy with his size, and I think Nick, just like what's his name is improving, I think Nick is improving. So you're going to see a better version of Nick. Again, as a fan, I would love to see this battle happen on stage, but I think this year it just might be too fast, too much pressure, too much anxiety, too much
for the kid, huh?
Too much for the kid to push him and say, you're 212, Mr. Olympia. Let's just throw you in there and see what happens with these guys. And these guys, just like you guys wanted to smack me around on stage, they're gonna be like, oh, really? Is that what you're gonna do? Okay, we'll show them something. Randy was off last year. Hatti was off during prejudging. We all know anybody can beat at any time. But I have a feeling that this year's Olympia, people are going to, because of Hatti, conditioning is going to come back.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
Yeah, hopefully. But by the way, when you said that, Dorian said Nasser trained for 18 years and didn't have back. Chris Bumstead, 2019 to 2020, his back improvements are shocking. I don't know if you paid
But it's
attention, if you noticed.
it was also the way he was posing his back. It wasn't just the actual muscle.
Oh, he did put a lot of muscle on his back. He put some
No,
tissue
I
on.
said the way he was posing his back also. I
Yeah.
didn't say he didn't improve.
But you,
I mean,
but you did see it in all his videos leading up that whole year that he was focusing on his back, and it really showed. It really showed. Yeah.
It was shocking improvements. Yeah, shocking improvements.
what I was saying was
That's
I was
one
gonna
in a
compliment
million,
the
brother.
way he
Just like
posed it.
Bill Heath.
The way he
Bill Heath
posed
was
it
one in a
is
million.
It's pretty.
But King, I love your
pretty good.
analysis.
Pretty
I really
nice.
do. I appreciate what you said here. But here, Rewind 2019, Hatti Chupan 212 winner, won Vancouver. Hatti and Hani were debating. Open 212. They say, oh, if he goes open, he's too small, like Derek right now. But for me, 2019, Hatti should have won the show anyway. It was no discrepancy in the size. Conditioning and a shape, can carry. Nobody has X frame of Derek Lunsford in the front and back double biceps, right? The lat spread goes all over the place. So, when you look, there are 4 poses there, right, already. Now, it's just what kind of conditioning he brings from the front. You guys already noticed, in a similar condition, Nick Walker and Derek were sitting next to each other, and all 3 of you saw Derek winning, right? So, project.
But that waistline
okay.
is pretty nice, bro. His taper is super nice.
Crazy.
That's what I like. I like his shape so much. But I just think he could really shape himself to a higher degree with some better posing and understanding about it's from your toes to your fingertips. It's all that shit matters. Everything matters.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I see.
Cool. So we got that out the way. Let's talk about something else real quick that I was listening to the last couple of days. Fouad and Bob. There's a little bit of
Oh shit.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Everybody knows, right?
Fouad.
Yes.
Bob made a video, that towards Fouad because Fouad supposedly. I mean, I saw what Fouad said. Fouad basically did in his podcast. He said something like, he didn't call out Bob and he didn't mention him by name. He didn't really. He didn't talk like he was trashing Bob at all. He just basically said that he would wish that there would be an athlete's rep that would be here for the athletes, and Bob kind of took offense to what Fouad said and made a video and about all the things that he's doing for the athletes or that he, What did you guys think about all this?
I tried to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody? First of all, 95% of the athletes right now, I believe, don't even know that we have an athlete's rep. I didn't know that I had no idea it was still in place, to be perfectly honest.
I can say this much. Bob took it very personally, and I think that Fouad just said it, as a matter of fact, it would be nice. It would be nice that all the athletes at all times had a representative. Back in the day, I was trying to do this also, and then Sean Ray was, involved, and then Bob. Well, we didn't choose Bob. Bob was somehow chosen.
Bob chose us.
Chosen. And then let's say this also. When we have something to discuss, we should vote. We should discuss that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was never discussed. I had a serious issue with changing the judging criteria, which was just accepted, and he suggested, why? I mean, especially King, that was also at your time, right? We had a symmetry round for years that shapely guys can gain some momentum there. Muscularity that muscular guys, can gain. And then posing round that somebody like you and somebody that's great poser. These are 3 aspects of a bodybuilding. Well, we don't need it because
Is that what happened with the symmetry round and everything?
What? They took it off. And I'm sure.
Yeah, but whose idea was that is what I want to know.
You tell me whose idea was.
I don't know.
Well, as Bob is mentioning, he did this. He was part of that, we don't need it. I remember I had on getbig.com or bodybuilding.com a few times conversation with this. I was completely against it. I mean, it was already, I'm not going to compete anymore, but, keep the tradition and keep this. I mean, symmetry round is for shapely guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And posing round, look what happened since then. Whose posing routine you want to even watch in the last 10 years? Who? Everything is boring, because as Dennis said before, it's not being judged, so why would I put an effort? Well, yeah, this is entertainment. It's not on the stage. It's not the sport. We don't lift weights. We don't fight each other. It's like entertainment. So as much as I hated King Kamali's posing, from the aspect of when I was, he hit the 5 poses, right?
Yeah.
And but he brought the crowd down. And
Entertainment was off the charts. Yes.
yeah, when I rewatched it, I said, this is entertaining as shit. I mean, I have to give him a credit. I do remember.
And I never won the posing round. Never did I ever win the posing round. Ever.
Yeah, rightfully.
And when I asked Manny,
Maybe because you forgot to pose.
You forgot to
listen, I couldn't care less, man.
Yeah.
I remember when I got my fucking pro card, Lee Haney told me something that stuck to my head. Backstage, when I won the Nationals, he said, "Kid, don't worry about where you place. Just win the crowd. Just have fun up there. Win the crowd. You're gonna be fine."
Right.
Then that's exactly what I did, man. I didn't give a fuck what Wayne would say. You can't have routines more than 3 minutes. Mine were 7 minutes long. What, is he gonna cut my fucking music off? He never cut my music off.
Yeah.
Just let me go and do what I wanted to do. But as far as as far as this, what we were just talking about, the athletes rep and stuff, honestly, man, my athlete rep for many, many years was Weinberger. If I had a problem, if I wanted to say something, if I had a lot of people think Steve is angry and this and that. Yeah, I got in a couple of, scuffles with him once in a while. He yelled at me a couple of times and this and that. But he would also, if I needed him, he would come down here. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
What do you need? What's going on here? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't like this. Can you fix the lighting? Can you tell him to do this? Make sure that this judge is not there because this person doesn't like me. Steve was my athlete rep. That's my enforcement.
But on the whole note of Bob is good, no question about it. But he is more leaning towards officials than athletes, because athletes should get together, discuss this, and then he should represent and report to the officials. He said he brought 212 division and whatever other classes, 3 classes. He said that's great, okay, but again, was it that your idea or athletes' idea? So what did you really do for the athletes? Fouad said, as a matter of fact, it would be nice to have somebody, nonstop.
It would be nice to have someone that's closer to the athletes than to the federation. That's all he said.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, that's at least all I heard. So, I don't see anything wrong with that opinion. I mean, as like I said, there's a lot of athletes, and most of the athletes, they don't even know that there's an athletes rep and that Bob is the athletes rep. People know Bob as the voice of bodybuilding who MCs the shows.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that he is somebody that athletes should go to if they have a problem. I would like to know how many times Bob gets emails with concerns from athletes. Probably never,
Yeah, probably.
What concerns you think might be coming up these days? I see some big ass checks on these stages, especially Olympia.
Well, we talked about this before, and always the people winning, they never complain. That's not the point. The point is that there should be certain things where there should be athletes meetings, and I'm not saying this is Bob's fault because it's not, because it's the athletes. Because I remember there was a time when they tried to arrange the athletes to meet at the Olympia, or remember when that was? And
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
a couple of people showed up, and the rest said, "Fuck it, I'm getting paid."
Yeah, I'm getting paid. Yeah, so it should be not real officials there. Just, people can voice opinions, voice different issues or even advice about different things that someone might be going through. All these things could be brought up, and just within the fellas that's within the guy, that's within the IFBB Pro League.
And then there should be a vote. The athletes should have the right to vote for the person they want to, have them represent them. And that's all it is.
That's why I'm asking.
Right.
Do you guys remember how did Bob get the position? Did we vote?
I know. I never voted for anything, so I don't know about anything. I don't know.
That was the point. That was my point. But other two things that he said, stage should be with the black backdrop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, you mean Fouad? Yes.
Always the
Oh,
same.
Fouad said that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, with the backdrop, that's something that I would probably do at prejudging at least.
Yeah.
So to get a better look, but with the judges to not rotate the judges, I think that's not smart.
good.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
smart.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I agree with it. Because what, how many shows all over the world, and it's going to be the same. Okay, I'm gonna get myself in trouble again for speaking up, but yeah, listen. Back in the day, right, there was at least 11 judges. Okay, 9 or 11. But
9.
11,
I remember
yeah.
9.
So yeah, initially it was like 11. So 3 highs and 3 lows erased. Okay, how fair can that be? And then middle 5 would be counted. So if I favor you or King or Chris, and put you first, and you don't deserve to be a top 10, doesn't matter. It's scratched. It brings validity, right? So I don't know if it's expensive to bring all these judges and stuff like that, but there was European judges, there was Canadian judges, American judges, just international panel. And I think it was much more fair. And I don't even know, maybe you should have 5 standard judges for big shows, and then the other ones by invitation. Each country should have some representative. I do think so. I do remember when Sean and I was discussing, okay, he always beat me. I say, yeah, Sean, we competed always in the United States. Would you bet your life you're going to beat me if we compete in Yugoslavia back in the day, in Serbia, in my country with my judges, right? So that puts things in perspective. But I would change the judges for sure. Now, same conditions, same lighting, I understand. It's probably impossible in any venue to bring the same lighting, but similar should be. And backdrop, I think it should be. We all agree. You see much more.
For prejudging, at least for prejudging,
Yeah.
like it was back in the days. There was a black curtain and that's it.
Yeah, UFC has the octagon, right? Boxing has the ring. Football, basketball, they have a standard, the field that they go to. Bodybuilding at this level should have that too. And like you said, maybe even just for prejudging and for confirmation round, you can put down the black curtain and
Or just turn turn off the LED screen and to black for just a couple of minutes, just to get a good look. I think that will be something to look into.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get myself in any further chat. I do think that, listen, if you have a highs and lows erased, that's beautiful. But if you have only 3 judges in a panel, right?
Why only 3? What do you mean?
Many shows, there are only
There's,
3.
no, it's not true. There's a minimum of 5.
That should be. I've seen 3, trust me. If you do a little investigation.
No, I've never seen 3. I know this 5 is the minimum, even at the amateur shows. 5 judges is the minimum.
And then high and low, you get erased?
Yeah, the highest and the lowest, yeah. Then you end up with 3 points as
3 points, yeah.
3 first place points if you win. But it was always I've never seen 3. So I mean,
I've seen the judges. I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to get myself.
Yeah, you better watch out.
It was all canceled.
Hey, did you guys see Flex Wheeler's back in the hospital?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I just
had
saw,
another. He had to go in back because he had to go back
surgery, right?
for shoulder surgery again for the same
I thought it
shoulder.
was in the back.
No, the back was supposed to be today. The back was supposed to be yesterday was supposed to be shoulder. Today was supposed to be back. And yesterday's shoulder, he's such a pain that they didn't even let him go. It was supposed to be outpatient surgery, and he had to stay in there because it's such pain again. That dude, man, he does not catch a break.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I know he's really beat up by it too. That's the thing, like
The pain that he's dealing with. I think that's the issue he has. It's not the surgery, it's not the shit that's going on. It's just the pain that he has to go through the whole time. And it's not like he can take painkillers or you can take an ibuprofen. You can. When you have only one kidney, then there's a lot of things that you can't do. So you got to take the pain sometimes, I guess. So hardcore. So, but huh?
Yeah, I just want to ask the King because initially he says, "Is this podcast open for any discussion, right? And you say yes, everything. Is there anything you want to discuss? Because you always have an interesting perspective.
No, man. I mean, I see what's happening. I keep in touch with I keep up with the sport. I see everything through Instagram right now. That's my main source of being in close in contact with the sport. But no, there's nothing really much to say, man. Everything pretty much is still the same.
Yeah. Here's what I
All
want to say,
good.
though. Here's what I want to say. There's a Vancouver Pro this weekend. Or next weekend? This weekend or next weekend. And there's 5 open bodybuilders on the list.
You gotta be kidding me.
5. That's it.
That's with no COVID situation.
No COVID. 5. What is wrong with the guys? I mean, this is an Olympia qualification. Why would people fly over to Canada to compete?
We discussed that. Why back in the day, we had 30, 40 guys on the stage and not so many pros. Now there's 5 times the amount of pros and then 5 guys on the stage.
Yeah.
Which means that, listen, I think that Classic Physique already had 50 Olympia competitors or close to.
They're over 30. I think by 35 right now, and they still have several shows more to qualify.
I mean, something needs to be done because, how many open division already? Like close to 20?
I don't know. All I know is that it's the numbers. Listen, like Portugal, how many people were on stage in Portugal? Was it 8, 10?
14.
Was it? It end up being 14?
End up 14.
But not Portugal. What I'm talking about, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, 7 or something.
Yeah. This is for me. This is unbelievable.
We discussed this, and somebody actually sent me the Instagram and link to see Fouad's podcast when they talk about why there was not more competitors. I didn't have the time to listen, which I would really like to know. Back then, when King won the nationals and Chris and back in the 90s, you get a pro card if you won a USA overall, right? Like you, Dennis, did, and a nationals
class winners
category, and then North American overall, right?
That's it. And that's it.
So there was very few bodybuilders turning pros, but then every show was 20, 30 national champions, 40 competitors, right? Every show. Now it's, like you said, 7, with the 10 times the amount of pros. So I got the pro card, right? I can make a living off of this. And there's these shows. That's why Chris and myself did every show throughout the year, right? It's a paycheck. What the fuck? I'm going to say I'm not going to compete. What is my excuse? That's the way to earn money. I'm going to do it.
Some people are looking to see if they're going to be able to win a show or not. Like, what else would be the reason? Like, but I think one mistake is passing up shows, thinking you have so much time to do competition like this. You only have a short time to compete. And if you don't take advantage of those times, young guys, then you're going to be wishing you did when it's all said and done. Because you don't know if tomorrow you might go out and be catastrophically eliminated from competition. You know
Eliminated.
So if you do that, it's like, oh man, it's like.
But Chris, you said like,
really
okay, they're looking, they cannot win the contest, so they don't answer. Only one time in my life as a pro, I actually announced that I have a chance of winning the show that I won. Actually, I was expecting you to be off in Canada '97, but in general, right?
Why were you expecting me to be off?
It was the first show that year that you competed. I can't, but I was going to tell you, I never trained for a contest knowing, I'm going there to win. I was competing with you guys in the 90s, Flex, Sean, Kevin, Chris, Paul, Lee, Dorian, seriously,
but
I was going into the show knowing by a perfect star alignment I could maybe make a top 5. This is it. But I was still, and maybe make $1,000, right? It was not that. It's like competition. I'm going to challenge myself and,
But I feel like they gotta. There's no ratio at the end of your career to say how many times did you go up there and compete, how many times did you win. It's just like you competing to get better. You compete. It's gonna make you a better bodybuilder by doing this competition and learning. to make a better bodybuilder do the next one and learn it. That's how I took it, and that's how I was able to do 7 shows in a row or whatever it is in a row. Because I'm going to get better each time I go up there. I'm going to learn each time I go up there. And these guys are looking at, oh, I got to have a chance to win it. Like I want to win. I don't even want to go up there if I'm going to win. I just want to win. Yeah, I want to win too. I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose in anything. Even if it's a PlayStation game, I don't want to lose. But I'm just saying, a lot of guys, they're looking to see if they can win a show or not, and that's giving them incentive to get into a show.
I won 1 out of 72 shows. I'm a 71-time loser. you know? But it didn't matter. No, because when you say, okay, they don't compete because they don't have a chance to win, maybe, right? So Vancouver, who is entering?
Ian Valliere is in it. Antoine Vaillant, and then 3 guys. I don't know. I don't even know who they are.
Wow.
You know, we used to call it.
Let me look it up.
Stage decoration, right?
Huh?
The what?
We used to call those guys stage decoration, right? To fill up the stage.
No, I don't want to say that.
Milos. I think social media has a lot to do with this too, man. I think the bodybuilders, the professional bodybuilders of today are saying to themselves, this is my opinion, that I'm a star on social media. If I get up on this stage and if I don't do well, it's going to hurt my social media presence.
Yeah,
that might have to do something with it too.
I need more content.
Okay, I understand that. But this is for the few, which pro competitor, for example, you can put in that category? Seriously. I mean, don't be shy. Like which pro is big on the social media that is afraid to step on the stage? I understand some amateurs and some people that maybe don't even compete. They have a huge social media following, okay? And they don't want to compete because, okay, that can ruin their position. But the pros, I don't know any. Who is the big pro on the social media that would risk if he competes and doesn't place well?
You're comparing this now to what we did. I still say these kids sitting there saying, yeah, King, that's because you're retired and you're disgruntled. That's not that we were disgruntled. I put myself and any of you guys to what we did to these guys anytime. Fuck, Milos, you tried to kill me when I came down to Fullerton. You forget that? You tried to kill me. And what did you say at the end? You said, King, you're just like, who's the Japanese guy that you used to train all the time? You said, King, you're like Hatti. You'd rather die than quit. I'm like, yeah, that's the way I've been taught to train. You think these kids would rather die than to quit? They'll quit in 2 seconds. I see it all the time.
You got to fix a tripod and carry all your cameras and shit over to the next workout.
Chris, the Powerhouse gym that I got kicked out of. By the way, I got kicked out of Powerhouse. The Powerhouse gym that I got kicked out of here, they rent tripods at the front desk. And just think about that. They rent tripods at the front desk so you can fucking shoot yourself. Get the fuck out of here. Imagine doing that at Gold's Venice. You get your ass kicked in the parking lot, man.
Hey, imagine giving a shit about a fucking photo or a video when you're trying to train hard with someone. Let's say you're going to train with Dorian or something, or even myself. Come train with me, and if you can worry about how you look on the camera and
get the ankle right.
That's not
special lights. Which listen, okay, I have to be honest myself. You want to put some content, so you tape it. But what King is saying, yes, and I remember very well, King, because this few times that I trained you, I loved it because you would rather die than quit. And this is the way it's supposed to be in pro bodybuilding or in elite sports, right? You go to train and you give your all. And what you're saying nowadays, right, with the special ankle, and the John Brown said this, I'm dying laughing every time. He take a rope, push down, and he says, everybody makes the whistle face. You know, that's not the fucking training, right? Now you go to the gym, people are picking the easiest fucking exercises. Unilateral something, squeezing and making that good face for the social media, right? Who is doing bend over ropes, deadlifts, squats, and shit that we were doing? I thought that King was doing twice a day. I know that Chris, you were doing twice a day, right? Dennis was doing twice a day. Myself, Jay Cutler, Ronnie. I mean, we all trained twice a day. I understand, King, that you were killing it maybe at even higher level of intensity, so you needed more time. But our workouts were super intense. As a matter of fact, now, if I would ask you, do you remember any of the workouts that you walked away and you would say, oh, that was the shitty one? You know, maybe if your whole career, you maybe have three workouts like this, right? I would not leave the fucking gym until I finish my job, right? And, you know, a couple of times it happened. Maybe you have sleepless nights, some stress and shit like this. But do you guys ever compromise in training?
No.
Right?
Oh.
Chris, did you ever compromise and have a shitty workout?
No.
Hell no. Dennis, I know you.
No. I walked away from the gym a couple of times where I've felt like if I start this now, it's not going to be a good one. It would be a shitty workout. I'd rather turn around and walk out.
All right, good. But how many?
But sometimes sometimes you just go through the motions of, okay, I don't feel like training today, but I got to get it done. Some of those workouts are some of your best workouts. Just by you get up in there and sometimes you have a really good workout.
Okay, I'll ask her, King, wherever you train now, I don't know, you're kicked out of a powerhouse, right? Well, wherever you train, did you notice anybody that this guy is training at my level?
Maybe one.
Okay, one in the last 10 years?
In the last 10 years, wow. Maybe
It's already said. It's already said that you're still thinking. You know that tells us.
Because I don't see that anymore, man.
Yeah.
I see more machines than anything else, and the bands. I mean, for fuck's sakes, how many of us? How many of you?
What
guys
the fuck is What the fuck is going on with the rubber bands?
The girl has no ass whatsoever, and she's got 4 plates on each side on the hip thrust, going up and down like this, with 6 bands, with a band on her forehead, band on her elbow, band on her ankles. You want to walk over there and say, "Honey, how about squatting?
Yeah.
You know, how about putting a
What's
bar
up?
on your back,
What's up with the
wrap it
rubber
up in a
bands
crown?"
now? I see people using rubber bands in the hack squat machine. What the
Call
fuck is
pussy
going on?
bands. That's what I call them, pussy bands.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe piss off some ladies, but I want to ask you guys because you understand sport. How come all these bikini and wellness girls have that full ass, right? And pro bodybuilders like ourselves squatting fucking 600-700 pounds, we didn't get that.
Because I had a fat ass in off season, and then when I was dieted down, my ass ended up almost flat. So it's because maybe fat free, less fat, less body fat.
But they're fat free on the stage, and they have a fucking ass sticking out like all over the place.
I know,
Because
but Milos, you have to understand this.
On their glutes more.
No. But first of all, there's a difference when you're on stage. You know, stage puts 20 pounds on you, and when they turn over, they stick the ass out. That's just a way of posing. Because I'll go backstage and I'll see the asses as big as my hand. I mean, you know what I mean? It looks like it's a fucking ass on stage, but it's not. That's why I'm a fan of wellness, like everybody knows. I'm a fan of wellness because, like I said, the bikini girls, even though it looks like they have a great ass, but it's a little tiny thing. There's nothing there.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing there.
Milos, they hit glutes every day. I'm sure Chris is going to attest to this too. They hit it every single day.
Oh yeah, they're on it. But some of these wellness girls, they don't have the good legs yet. Like it takes a little minute to grow legs. It's not like the glutes. And I just wish, they would just make sure that they got those wheels, because I don't want to see a wellness girl if they with skinny legs. Don't like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Wellness needs both legs and glutes with that.
Yeah, it almost seems like some of the girls from bikini that never get in shape are switching over to wellness because they think, oh yeah, my ass is too big for bikini.
I would like to see Wellness Plus. I would put my hat in there to see I want to see the Wellness Plus girls. Girls.
Wellness Deluxe.
You gotta be ripped to get in the shape.
Just off
Give me them
season.
bills, give me them glutes.
Yeah.
Give me the shape. And I'll be a bigger fan of that than all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, why don't
Wellness
you
Plus class.
call a Bob Chicarilla and suggest new class?
I am going to.
By the way, Chris
Wellness
is
Plus.
by the way, Chris is going to the Chicago Pro next week. He's going to be doing the broadcast, the live broadcast. So,
Oh, nice.
Wouldn't that be something that interests you too, Kamali?
If I'm available, man. I got my girl. My son plays baseball. My girl acts, and she's. I'm on daddy mode, man.
All right,
I'm
okay.
full
So you backed off. So you're not going to shows and stuff like that anymore at all. Not
So
interested.
you have a dad bod?
This is a big sacrifice in family time and all that stuff. Not everybody's willing to do that right now, you know.
Yeah.
I've always been dedicated to bodybuilding.
Because I think King would be good. He would be good to do live broadcasts too. You know, and like just
sure.
give your opinion and stuff.
For
You
sure.
can put the headphones on.
Yeah, if I'm available, I'd love to do. I've told Dan
So
Sullivan.
you got
this 100
headphones can
times.
fit you?
Oh my God! I told Dan Solomon this 100 times. I said, put me and Cormier. Let us fucking do the play-by-play at the fucking Olympia. He goes, hell no, I don't trust you guys. I'm like, that's the whole point. We're gonna make it interesting. It's gonna be fun. We'll be tearing people to pieces. You know how many times, Dan, when I did the Olympia with Chad and Solomon, when we did the Olympia, the broadcast for the prejudging a few years back, you know how many times Solomon kicked me under the table because I was speaking my fucking mind?
Yeah, well,
He kept kicking me under the table, kicking me under the table. I was like, what are you doing, man? That was the year Jay had that huge fucking bruise coming down his arm.
Oh, okay. 2000 and what is it? 5 or 6?
The year Phil beat him for the first time. That's the
2010. Now 11.
Yeah.
11. I'm sorry. 11.
Yeah, I think so. Who is competing in Chicago?
Yeah, I guess it's going to be a bigger lineup because there's nobody in Vancouver. So I guess everybody's waiting for Chicago and then Tampa. And then we have Texas too.
About that Wednesday before, probably.
Huh?
It's going to be all the classes except the wheelchairs. So,
In Chicago.
yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, it's a huge show.
Yeah, you see,
It's a 3-day show.
some of the guys are facing these visa issues. My guy, Mohammed Al-Imam from Russia, he was going to compete, but he can't get the visa because Russian vaccine doesn't count. You know, yeah.
all of a
Imagine.
sudden.
I mean, King, you are Iranian, right? And you said so many great Iranians. The Behruz Tabani I prepared last year. He was contest ready for 3 shows ready, and he couldn't get the visa. There's nothing. We contact Emilia Martinez or for a Prague show, a Spanish show, you couldn't get it. So those guys are facing the same issues every year, this year included. Like you said, there would probably be 10 guys from Iran at Olympia stage easily. You know, these guys are next
easily.
Also, Branch Chin, like he competed. I used to help him. He did the show 2 years ago, the Olympia, and he took 4th in the classic bodybuilding.
Yeah,
that guy's a killer, man. That dude
Chinese, yes.
Yeah, I trained with him and stayed there in China for a while, working with him personally, and I know this guy is a killer, but he can't get that visa, right? They gave him a visa, cost him like 10 grand. They gave him 4 days to be here in America, and he had to leave. So he got here the day before the Olympia, he had to leave the next day after the Olympia, get the
Wow.
Yeah.
So how can we help these people? How can we make a difference? I mean, I like to see if Federation can do anything for it. But speaking of that, now, which countries do you think they have the best bodybuilders? That if you would say 3 countries.
I wouldn't pick one country. I would pick a continent.
Continent. Okay, go ahead.
I'll pick Middle East.
Middle East.
Yeah. Middle East is just so many. It's
You
just
talking
so
about
many.
genetically, or are you talking about?
But-
What I see is genetics. I see it still needs some major coaching in some different areas, posing, training. Like, I think they
Chris is just trying to.
Chris has got the diet down, but they don't. But you're not presenting the shit right, and you don't look right, and you're not
Chris,
connecting.
tell them where they can reach you for posing clinics.
No, not for me. 'Cause I'm moving more on the side with the camera. I want a camera in my face.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
No.
being
But for real, I think the Middle East, especially in the last, let's say, 10 years, tremendous. And we only seen a fraction of what they really have.
Yeah.
Athletes, we only see a fraction, and those are probably not even the best guys that we already praising for how many years. You know what I mean?
I just got that-
Iranians
that
are
from
off the
Iraq,
charts.
too. Those guys, they got some guys there.
But the Iranians been doing this forever. They were winning world championships 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talked because they cannot, back then, they wouldn't even get their pro cards by winning the world championships. They wouldn't let them turn pro. I don't know if it's still like this. What is it like now? King, you probably closer.
They're competing at that level, getting their pro cards now. But the problem is that getting out of the
But
country.
this is only since the IFBB Pro League separated from the Rafael Tantonia's IFBB because they didn't give out the pro cards. They asked for money.
Yeah, but you have to also you got to put into the equation with the Iranian athletes especially. The reason why there's so many great bodybuilders coming out of Iran is because the pool is so crowded. And then the reason why the pool is so crowded is because they don't have anything else to do. There are no nightclubs. There are no hangouts. There's no coffee shops. The only thing the youth can do there is go to a gym and work out because that's where you can hear the club music, hear hip hop, talk to your friends, be in a tank top and shorts. And for the women, it's in the morning. They go in the mornings when the guys aren't there. But that's their social life. That's their social structure. So when you have that much of a pool of people going in, if it was like this over there, like everything was open and free, so many great bodybuilders wouldn't be coming out of Iran. Because why? Because they'd be playing basketball. They'd be playing baseball. They would be playing lacrosse. They don't have that. They have bodybuilding or wrestling. That's it.
Yeah. And they're some of the best wrestlers there, too.
Yeah.
I used to wrestle, and I had a couple guys that was from Iran. They was nuts, so good on the
So
mat.
anybody disagree with me saying the Middle East?
Middle East, yeah. I was going to say Iran and Egypt.
Yeah, which is, for me, this all belongs to the Middle East somewhat.
Yeah, for sure. But let me tell you, the Asians are coming. There's a lot of Chinese, Korean.
I know. They got good people, but this is the size is still. It's not quite there yet. I think they're just genetically not as big. There's some big guys. Don't get me
the
wrong.
females or the males?
Both.
So,
Both.
For females, I think they have a better shot.
yeah, better shot than the female. Physique competitors also.
Because I've seen a couple of Chinese girls with some ass too, and that doesn't always happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they'll be in my Wellness Plus class.
Yeah, no.
They could be in the regular wellness.
That's a South American division for Chris right here. South American division.
Yeah.
Anyways, listen, guys. I'm going to wrap this up with you all today. I appreciate both of you. I almost said both of you. All three of you. King, thank you for coming on. Milos and Chris are regulars on here, so I don't want to drag this out too long. We had a good conversation. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And hopefully, man, listen, if you're available one day, maybe we can add you to a broadcasting team, King. I think it would be fun. Not tearing these guys apart, but just be be nice.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm down with that. Why not?
Yeah.
Just don't try to move me like this no more because you're gonna get the business.
Yeah.
I won't move you as long as you keep your wallet in your pocket, so I don't have to.
I was
out of the way when they're trying to steal your wallet. Oh, never mind.
I was gonna ask Milos, but Milos is every weekend now and watching UFC, so he's not available. He's not available no more. I still wait for the day where he calls me and says, "Listen, come on down, watch the fights with us."
Yeah.
Okay, well,
He forget about his friends.
Oh, no, the friends.
We're your friends on here.
Listen, this is how it is. I'm fortunate enough to know and train with Hunter Campbell. Right?
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, and I can't even ask for the tickets, but he fortunately always.
Well, maybe okay. Then, well, why don't we do this? Bring me one time and just ask your wife if she can stay home just once.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll drive down and watch it with you.
Okay.
You gotta take all the damn pictures.
I'll play this for her. So
tell her.
She volunteer for sure.
I will bring her some flowers if she stays home one night.
Good.
Okay.
Huh?
Will you get the camera in your hand?
Say what?
We'll be in touch for that one. Yes, by all means. But listen, I just remember my flashback. There was like 3:00 in the morning, like a few months ago, and I got the phone call from King Kamali. You remember, King? Calling me from Turkey.
Yeah. Let's keep that on the down low.
All right.
All right, guys, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you, guys. Y'all stay safe. God bless y'all, man. King, I'm gonna get back to you with this. All right.
Peace, man.
All right. Take care, guys. Peace out.
Hey, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.